They say power corrupts. But the truth is weakness corrupts faster. Power doesn't destroy character, it exposes it. It reveals what was hidden in silence. What most people never admit is that every human interaction is a quiet war. A war for influence, a war for control, a war between those who command reality and those who are commanded by it. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Most people hear that and recoil, but the powerful understand something deeper. Love is conditional. Fear is dependable. The world doesn't reward purity. It rewards clarity, the ability to see human nature as it is, not as you wish it to be. So tonight, we dive into the dark psychology that separates the powerful from the powerless. 8 lessons, carved from history, psychology, and the brutal honesty of human behavior. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The powerless seek approval, the powerful command respect. Watch people in any room. The powerless are scanning faces, reading reactions, hoping to be liked. The powerful, on the other hand, radiate calm indifference. They are centered, not chasing. The difference? Approval is an addiction. Respect is earned through self-mastery. Robert Greene once said in the 48 Laws of Power, "Reputation is the cornerstone of power." The powerless trade authenticity for acceptance. They speak to please, not to persuade. They smile to survive, not to lead. But the powerful? They understand that approval is submission in disguise. They choose silence over begging and restraint over reaction. The psychology is simple. When you stop needing validation, you become magnetic. When you stop explaining, people start wondering. Effective affirmation. I no longer chase validation. My silence commands attention. Lesson 2. The powerless react, the powerful observe. Human nature is emotional. We are wired to react, instantly, impulsively, defensively. But reaction is a sign of weakness. It means someone else controls your state. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." The powerful never react immediately. They let emotions pass like storms. They watch, they decode, they gather data, because in observation lies advantage. Think of Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, surrounded by betrayal and deceit. He didn't lash out. He observed human nature like a scientist studies a specimen. That's why his words still echo centuries later. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The powerless, however, confuse movement with progress. They argue, post, complain, every outburst leaking power. The powerful conserve it. They strike only when timing and precision align. Observation is the art of control. To watch without reacting is to dominate your own psychology. And that's the foundation of external power. Effective affirmation. I observe in silence. I act only with intention. Transition to the next segment. Power doesn't come from dominance alone. It comes from emotional discipline, strategic detachment, and an understanding of human desire. As we move deeper, you'll see why power is never about aggression, it's about perception. How to appear calm while everyone else burns. How to turn manipulation into insight. And how to walk through chaos without being touched by it. Lesson 3. The powerless feel deeply, the powerful use emotion strategically. Emotion is energy. It can move nations or destroy them. The powerless drown in it, the powerful direct it. Most people think emotional control means suppression. It doesn't. It means transformation. When Machiavelli wrote The Prince, he didn't tell rulers to be heartless. He told them to be calculating, to feel deeply but act rationally. He understood that emotion is the lever of power. Used consciously, it manipulates crowds, inspires loyalty, or ignites fear. Consider Julius Caesar. He wept in public to stir sympathy, yet marched like a god in battle. He weaponized vulnerability not as weakness but as performance. People followed because they felt him. He controlled their emotions by controlling his own. The powerless allow emotion to dictate decisions. The powerful choose when to reveal it and to whom. In today's world, emotional mastery is rare. The loudest voices online are often the weakest minds. They broadcast everything, bleeding credibility with every post. The powerful understand. Mystery multiplies influence. Effective affirmation. My emotions serve me. I never serve them. Lesson 4. The powerless seek fairness, the powerful seek advantage. There's a painful truth Machiavelli whispered to princes. The world is not fair. It is merely functional. The powerless expect fairness. They demand it from bosses, lovers, systems, and fate. But fairness is a myth created by those who want peace in a world built on hierarchy. The powerful accept inequality as the natural order. Not to exploit, but to understand. They know that people are driven by self-interest, and by aligning with that, they move mountains. Think of modern business. The employee waits for recognition. The powerful engineer visibility. One begs for opportunity. The other creates it. In the wild, lions don't protest the hyenas. They adapt. They dominate the terrain through instinct and timing, not complaint. Robert Greene puts it this way: never appeal to mercy or gratitude. They are fleeting emotions. Appeal to self-interest instead. So when you deal with people in negotiation, in love, in leadership, never assume fairness. Assume motives. Study them. Use them. Power is not about being good. It's about being effective. Effective affirmation. I play the game with clarity, not emotion. Fairness is not my strategy. Mastery is. Lesson 5. The powerless crave attention, the powerful control presence. We live in the age of noise. Every voice is shouting, every hand raised for validation. But the more you seek attention, the less power you hold. Machiavelli wrote, "A wise man does at once what a fool does at last." And the wise know this. Attention must be earned through absence, not excess. Look at the most influential figures in history. They understood the value of mystery. Napoleon mastered the silent entrance. Steve Jobs created anticipation through secrecy. Even mystics and prophets moved in silence before revelation. Why? Because distance amplifies desire. The powerless post, explain, overexpose. The powerful retreat, until their presence is impossible to ignore. In a world addicted to visibility, invisibility becomes a weapon. The ability to step back, to let curiosity grow, to appear only when the timing is perfect. That is how control is maintained. Effective affirmation. I move in silence. My absence speaks louder than words. You're beginning to see it now. Power isn't a mask you wear. It's a discipline you build. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows they can act, but chooses not to. Lesson 6. The powerless fear chaos, the powerful create through it. Most people crave stability. They want predictability, peace, routine. But in that craving, they become predictable themselves. And predictability is death in the realm of power. The powerful understand chaos differently. They see it as a disguise, a natural smokescreen. While others scramble for order, the powerful move silently beneath the noise. Machiavelli advised princes to use disorder strategically. A wise ruler must learn how not to be good, and use that knowledge as necessity requires. It's not about being cruel. It's about being fluid, using tension as camouflage. Think of wartime leaders like Winston Churchill. While his enemies panicked, he thrived on chaos. His unpredictability became a weapon. He mastered the psychology of confusion, turning every crisis into stagecraft. The powerless crumble when the world shakes. The powerful stabilize themselves internally. They remain the eye in the storm, calm, deliberate, and dangerous. Chaos reveals character. Those who rely on comfort will shatter. Those who rely on clarity will rise. Effective affirmation. I remain calm in chaos. Turmoil fuels my evolution. Lesson 7. The powerless attach, the powerful detach. Attachment is the oldest trap in human psychology. The moment you cling to people, ideas, outcomes, you hand them your control. The powerless attach because they fear loss. The powerful detach because they understand impermanence. Carl Jung said, "What you resist, persists." Attachment is resistance disguised as love. It blinds judgment and breeds dependence. Look at great strategists, military or emotional. They care deeply, but never cling. They can love fiercely and still walk away clean. That's because detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. It means you feel without being enslaved by feeling. In business, it's the investor who doesn't panic when markets collapse. In relationships, it's the person who chooses loyalty, not obsession. In leadership, it's the one who can cut ties when loyalty turns to liability. Machiavelli knew this well. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, and covetous. He didn't hate humanity for it, he accepted it. That acceptance gave him freedom. When you stop needing permanence, you gain the only permanence that matters: self-control. Effective affirmation. I release attachment. My freedom is my true strength. Lesson 8. The powerless trust words, the powerful read intentions. Here lies one of the darkest truths of human behavior. Most communication is manipulation. Words are weapons, not bridges. The powerless take words at face value. They believe apologies, promises, flattery because they want to believe. The powerful, however, listen beneath the surface. They read tone, timing, and tension. Machiavelli warned, men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, because everyone can see, but few can feel. What he meant was simple. People notice what you say, but only the powerful sense why you say it. The art of power is the art of interpretation. It's the ability to decode subtext, the emotion behind the language. In negotiation, the powerful don't react to what's said. They study what's not said. They sense insecurity, desperation, pride, and use it as a map. Power isn't about deceit. It's about perception, about seeing through illusions that blind the masses. Effective affirmation. I hear beyond words. I read intention. I see truth. Power isn't about domination. It's about definition. The powerful don't chase control, they define the terms of it. They understand that every interaction, every silence, every decision shapes their psychological gravity. This final segment reveals how the powerful anchor their identity, command loyalty, and remain untouchable, even in defeat. Let's finish what we began. Lesson 9. The powerless are transparent, the powerful are strategically opaque. The powerless crave to be understood. They explain everything, their plans, their motives, their pain. They confuse openness with honesty. But in the realm of power, full transparency is self-sabotage. Because once people understand you completely, they can predict you. And once they can predict you, they can control you. The powerful use strategic opacity. They reveal fragments, not the whole picture. They leave space for others to guess, and in that space power grows. Consider the ancient Chinese strategist Sun Tzu, who wrote, "Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness." Mystery is the most underrated currency of influence. It keeps others orbiting your presence, never quite sure where you stand. And uncertainty breeds respect, or at least caution. You don't owe the world your transparency. You owe yourself your control. Effective affirmation. I reveal little, I control much. My silence is my armor. Lesson 10. The powerless imitate strength, the powerful radiate composure. There's a difference between acting powerful and being powerful. The powerless overcompensate, aggression, arrogance, loudness. But these are performances, not presence. True power is stillness under pressure. It's the slow heartbeat in the storm. The steady eye contact when others avert theirs. Machiavelli knew that appearances mattered, but he also knew that authentic calm was more frightening than theatrical dominance. A prince should inspire fear in such a way that, if he does not win love, he avoids hatred. That balance, calm and danger intertwined, is what creates an aura of power. Think of the general who doesn't flinch when plans collapse. The negotiator who pauses instead of pleading. The individual who doesn't need to prove, because presence proves itself. Composure is energy conservation. The powerful don't spend emotion to display strength. They radiate it quietly, and the world adjusts. Effective affirmation. My calm is my command. My stillness is my strength. Lesson 11. The powerless break under isolation. The powerful forge themselves in solitude. Most people fear being alone. Silence confronts them with themselves, and they don't like what they see. But solitude is the crucible of transformation. Every philosopher, general, and ruler who touched greatness understood this. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire but found his clarity in isolation. Nietzsche wrote in the mountains, not in crowds. Machiavelli himself, exiled and disgraced, wrote The Prince in solitude, crafting ideas that outlived every one of his enemies. Isolation is not absence of connection. It's the sharpening of perception. The powerful retreat not to escape but to recalibrate. When you learn to be alone without crumbling, you become impossible to manipulate. Effective affirmation. I master solitude. My strength is born in silence. Lesson 12. The powerless exist in the world, the powerful shape it. Here lies the final divide. The powerless react to reality. The powerful rewrite it. They understand the rules and then bend them. They don't wait for permission. They create systems that reward them. From Alexander the Great to Elon Musk, power has always been tied to perception. Not what the world is, but what it believes it is. Machiavelli's core message wasn't darkness. It was realism. He stripped away the illusions of morality and showed that power, like fire, is neutral. It burns or it warms, depending on who holds it. The powerful separate themselves not through cruelty, but through clarity and understanding that control begins within. You cannot command others until you can command yourself. You cannot lead until you have conquered your chaos. You cannot be powerful until you are free from the need to appear so. Effective affirmation. I am calm. I am calculated. I am power. Conclusion. The Machiavellian reflection. In a world obsessed with light, it's the shadows that teach us. The powerful aren't those who dominate through fear or cruelty. They're those who see the entire spectrum of human nature and use it consciously. They know that morality, manipulation, and emotion are tools. That control begins not with conquest, but with clarity. So remember, 1. Don't seek approval, command respect. 2. Don't react, observe. 3. Don't drown in emotion, direct it. 4. Don't demand fairness, seek advantage. 5. Don't chase attention, control presence. 6. Don't fear chaos, master it. 7. Don't attach, detach. 8. Don't trust words, read intentions. 9. Don't overshare, stay mysterious. 10. Don't perform strength, embody composure. 11. Don't avoid solitude, use it. 12. Don't accept reality, shape it. This is the dark psychology that separates the powerful from the powerless. It isn't cruel. It's conscious. It isn't manipulation. It's mastery. And if you've made it this far, perhaps you've already taken your first step toward becoming untouchable.